Arrived in India and he had quite an epic day in Mumbai today as he's brought in with him a 125-member delegation of ministers, of CEOs, etc., all from flying down from London to try and build business with India in the most historic trade deal. We will take you through details on what the trade deal really entails. And of course, in our deep dive segment, we delve into the trolling, heavy trolling that Deepika Padukone has to face because she wore an abaya. She's now the ambassador of Abu Dhabi, tourism ambassador, with her husband Ranveer Singh, and she chose to wear the abaya while standing in front of the Grand Mosque. And Indians heavily trolling her, asking her, where is this My Choice campaign disappear? Basically, she spoke about her choice of wearing bindi, or if she does not want to wear bindi, if she wants to wear a scarf or no, it's all her choice. So here, Indians asking, why are you forced to wear an abaya? Was she forced? We will talk about that extensively. And on our top story on Day Tonight, ED raids on Malayalam superstars Mammootty and Prithviraj as well in the luxury car case, where suspicion is that luxury cars have been smuggled in from Bhutan, though the actors say they are unaware and they've brought it through legitimate means. They bought the car legally. They're not too sure of the background of it. We'll take you through that story after the headlines. Prime Minister Modi inaugurates 19,650 crore Phase 1 of Navi Mumbai International Airport, India's first fully digital green hub to ease Mumbai's air traffic and handle 155 million passengers. Modi slammed the Congress over 26/11 Mumbai attacks, accusing the party of showing weakness despite security readiness. Home Minister Amit Shah adopts Made in India Zoho mail amid Swadeshi push. Signs off tweet in style reminiscent of Donald Trump, praising Zoho engineers' 20 years effort, saying, I'm now using Zoho. Thank you very much, all of you, for your attention on this. Federation of All India Medical Association expresses deep concern over 20+ child deaths linked to cold reef cough syrup, urges the Health Ministry to form a central investigation committee recovering in fact, it covers extensively manufacturing, quality and distribution with expert oversight. Investigation now under the Health Ministry that begins. Zubin Garg's 2 personal security officers, PSOs, suspended over suspicious 1.1 crore transactions. The DSP, Sandeepan Garg, a police officer, he's the cousin of Zubin Garg. He's been arrested and he's the 5th arrest now, including culpable homicide and criminal conspiracy that's been slapped against him. Delhi High Court issues summons to Netflix and Red Chillies Entertainment in Wankede's 2 crore defamation case over portrayal in Aryan Khan's Bads of Bollywood, matter listed for October 30th. Wankede has cried foul, saying that his lookalike was presented in the series, and this comes while Aryan Khan's case is ongoing, he says. JDS accuses Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister DK Shivkumar of orchestrating Big Boss Kannada's Season 12 closure, calling him a nut and bolt minister. Villagers allege Jollywood Studios' wastewater is polluting local lake and harming cattle and public health. Though DK has dismissed these allegations, saying all I've done is to ensure environmental norms are complied, and have pushed for another chance to be given to Big Boss makers. Actress Lakshmi Menon, along with 2 others, gets anticipatory bail in abduction and assault case after the IT professional complainant files affidavit stating that the matter has been amicably settled. So it seems like she's got some relief there. India stands with Taliban, Pakistan, China and Russia to oppose Trump's attempt to take over Bagram Air Base. Support comes ahead of Afghanistan Foreign Minister's visit to New Delhi. Cristiano Ronaldo officially becomes the first footballer to enter the Billionaires Club with a new $1.4 billion a net worth fueled by Al Nasser's contract, Nike deal and global endorsements, making a historic financial milestone alongside his legendary career. All right, let's cut to India and UK's free trade agreement. We're looking at the two countries now, extensively discussing trade with both countries cutting down nearly 90% tariffs on goods. India and the UK have decided to do that. Keir Starmer, UK Prime Minister, is in India and he's brought along a bharat of business leaders like we've never seen before. 125-member delegation, that's what you see on our screens there. The biggest ever UK trade mission to India that we've seen. They touched down in Mumbai, led by a visibly charged Prime Minister Keir Starmer. In fact, Keir Starmer, even before he landed, his enthusiasm was quite clear. He got to the cockpit of the flight, grabbed the cockpit mic mid-flight to address passengers, setting a tone there for what is currently being called a landmark visit by the UK delegation. Let's hear it.
This is the biggest, this is the Prime Minister. I'm in the cockpit and a very warm welcome to BA flight 9100 to Mumbai. It's really fantastic to have you all on board. This is the biggest trade mission to India that the UK has ever sent. So I'm much looking forward to working with you as we explore all of the opportunities and take full advantage of the opportunities in our new free trade agreement. So safe flight everybody, enjoy the flight and I'll give you further information.
All right, there you have it. Keir Starmer in Mumbai. He was received by Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis, Deputy Chief Ministers Eknath Shinde and Ajit Pawar and Governor Acharya Devrat. All of them received him as soon as he arrived and his delegation. Day one was packed for Keir Starmer, meetings with industry leaders, a visit to a youth football centre as well. That's where Keir Starmer arrived at, a youth football venue where he got a close look at the Premier League trophy and also then visited Yash Raj Studios for a film screening. Yash Raj Studios there, he also announced that 3 blockbuster Bollywood movies are now going to be shot in the UK in the next 3 years. So he's super excited to build business between India and the United Kingdom. And here was his tour today at the Yash Raj Studios with Rani Mukherjee itself. Starmer has called the India-UK Free Trade Agreement the most important economic deal for UK since Brexit, saying that he wants to see it implemented as soon as possible, as soon as humanly possible. These are his words. Let's listen in.
This is the biggest trade mission that the United Kingdom has ever sent to India. We had Prime Minister Modi over to the United Kingdom earlier this year to sign the FTA, the free trade agreement that we agreed, and today is the return leg of that, if you like. That FTA is really important for us. It's the biggest deal that we've struck since we left the EU, and I think it's the biggest deal that India has ever struck, so hugely important.
Now, what exactly is the free trade agreement that India and the UK have signed? It was finalized in May this year. The FTA, in fact, eliminates tariffs on nearly 99% of Indian goods and 90% of UK exports. It's designed to open up markets, boost investment and create jobs in both nations. For India, it's a huge push, and particularly in the areas of textiles, leather, agriculture, IT services, gems and auto parts, sectors that could see major job growth as well as exports rise. Remember, this also comes in the back of Trump tariffs. So where India is losing out, it appears that the traders might just gain with this UK free trade agreement. For UK, it means cheaper imports of Indian goods like apparel, seafood, footwear, while Britain's whiskey, cosmetics and high-end engineering products find a bigger market here. Of course, UK, we hear, is ecstatic that India has reduced the tariffs on whiskey. So they're very happy to send a lot more of the alcohol, whiskey particularly, to India. Tomorrow, Starmer is expected to meet with Prime Minister Narendra Modi to discuss deeper cooperation from defence and tech to expanding direct flights as well between the two countries. Already there are enough flights, but we hear there are added flights now between Delhi to London. At least 3 flights daily that they want to add to ensure that trade is seamless. A visit that began like a celebration could soon redefine one of the world's most promising partnerships, taking India-UK bond from handshake to action. Let me bring in Ujjwal Singh Bhatia, former Indian ambassador, WTO. We also have Adit Kothari, foreign affairs expert, joining us live from London. Thank you both of you for joining us. Ujjwal Singh Bhatia, let me start with you. The first of its kind delegation, 125 members. Keir Starmer, we know, is an upbeat personality. He's always smiling, always full of life. Never expected him to bring 125 member delegation. He's brought university experts, he's got CEOs, he's got ministers, he's got just a whole range of people meaning business. This just shows that he means business and he wants to ensure the best trade deal is etched between India and UK.
I think for both countries it is a big achievement. For UK, after their exit from the European Union, they need access to more markets, and the large Indian market provides that opportunity. For India also, we're also looking to integrate our economy with the world on our terms. And I think an integration with a very sophisticated economy like like UK is a huge plus point. It follows the free trade agreement that we have already ratified with the EFTA countries, and I hope that this is also a precursor to the negotiations that we are having with the European Union. It is a very big plus point in several ways. First of all, several of our labor-intensive industries, like apparel and textiles, like footwear and leather, gems and jewelry, auto components, processed agricultural foods. These kind of products get access, and therefore it leads to greater income generation and employment generation in India. Secondly, I think the important thing is that our professionals get better access to the UK market. I'm talking about service providers like our IT service providers, like the engineering and financial services service providers and so on. So a large number of Indian professionals are going to get better access to the UK, and this is a major plus point for this agreement. Thirdly, I think there is also the small print about non-tariff barriers. For instance, the mutual recognition of standards in sanitary and phytosanitary standards, for instance, or the recognition of qualifications of various kinds like accountancy and engineering. These are again very big plus points and will help us to access the UK market in a much bigger way. One major opening that India has provided is in its public procurement space. This is almost unprecedented. India has a huge amount of public procurement through its central government, and it is now providing access through this agreement to the public procurement market of India. Right. I think that will make it more competitive, and I think we can expect better things from that. But broadly, I think it helps us to counter the impact of the Trump tariffs, and it helps us to integrate with sophisticated developed economies. And I think it is a precursor also to our larger integration with the world economy. So plus points everywhere.
You know, India is also in a near agreement with the EU. Does that give us a little difference, or just in layman language, Adit, if you can differentiate between the trade agreement that we are entering with the EU and the FTA here we have with United Kingdom? They are two separate, and also it comes in the backdrop of Trump imposing tariffs on India, such heavy, steep tariffs. UK is also not very happy with the United States, or Trump rather. So it seems like there's this newfound love between India and the United Kingdom, and Keir Starmer seems more pumped than ever. Never seen a delegation of 125 members arriving in India like that, like a barat.
Well, as far as the trade agreements with Mr. Trump are concerned, I think the UK has got off pretty lightly. But I think the European Union is still smarting under the humiliating agreement that they signed with Mr. Trump.
Right.
And for them, and as well as for India, the finalization of the agreement between the EU and India is a big priority, and I think both sides have announced that it will be completed by the end of this year, and I hope that will happen.
Forward to that. Please come in on that, on the demarcation between EU and UK's free trade agreement. And this is basically India looking out for avenues to expand trade after the big hit we got from the United States. Either way, this was in the pipeline. But it seems like now this might just come as a big savior if Trump tariffs are really indeed imposed. Trump tariffs are not yet coming into effect.
True, Nabila. I think what the Trump tariff madness has done is it's actually created this boost for all of the other trade deals, all of the other sort of on paper negotiations. It sort of expedited it, and it's also strengthened, India's stance on multi-alignment. It's deepening powers, deepening sort of trade relations with other economic powers, and it's countering that US relations which are sort of souring across the world, whether it be Japan, whether it be EU, Australia, or United Kingdom. So, India is taking advantage of that. This particular trade deal has been in the pipeline for about 3.5 odd years, ever since Britain decided to leave the single market, the EU, etc. From Theresa May to Boris Johnson to Rishi Sunak, everybody has been on queue to try and expedite this and get this, and there were a lot of obstacles, and credit should be given to people who have been behind the scenes, people like Ambassador Vikram Doraiswamy, who's the current High Commissioner to Britain. I mean, they have been working on this day and night to try and get this stitched up, and credit must be given to those people in the background. Because there were a lot of obstacles in the due course, including visa concessions, which Britain are not yet providing. However, they have provided concessions to a lot of other issues, social security contributions, for example, which Indian workers who are on ICT visas, 3-year visas working in the UK, they would have to provide national insurance contributions to the social security. So that roughly amounted to anywhere between 5 to 10,000 pounds over 3 years. Now that is not going to be provided any longer by those workers, and they can, that is monies which India is basically going to be benefiting as a consequence. So those concessions have been made by the United Kingdom. India is going to be, benefiting largely out of this. And on the whole, I think India is the larger beneficiary because it gets access to British markets for all of its exports, which currently is going to be tariffed. And from a UK perspective, things like cars, luxury cars, whiskey, etc., get into India with lower tariffs. V8, V9 engines, typically, which were taxed roughly by 110%,
all in all,
are going to be taxed.
All in all, are we expected to see a real surge in export to the United Kingdom?
Export in surge, yes. From a sales perspective, from a United Kingdom perspective, I think we're going to see a little bit of a downturn, primarily because duties have come down from 110% to 30% for V8 and V9 engines, for example. But next year, there are talks about those duties going lower. So I don't think sales are going to particularly rise a lot. Because I think people are typically going to wait out for another year to try and buy their luxury cars the following year.
Okay. Ambassador, the size of the delegation, the composition of Starmer's 125-member delegation, what does that signal to you really here? Because we know that this free trade agreement has been in the making for a few years now. They've had multiple meetings, and finally it was signed this July with Modi in London this summer. It was signed, but not too sure how long this would take to actually come into effect. But the 125 delegation almost appears as if they mean business. So why don't you give us your take on it? Is it just mere photo op, or British politics? Is this their style?
After their exit from the European Union, obviously the Brits are very keen to develop new markets. And I think their keenness to enter the Indian market on a bigger scale is evident from the large size of the delegation. So there is a target within the agreement to double trade between the two countries by 2030. And I think it is very much achievable given the goodwill that exists between the two sides to immediately to operationalize the agreement. Of course, the British procedures for ratifying the agreement are not yet complete. They will take a little more time, but hopefully by mid next year, the agreement will be operational. And I think from both sides there is a keenness to make this a success, especially because from an Indian perspective, we look upon it as a sort of a precursor, as I said, to dealing with more developed countries and exchanging concessions with the more developed countries, not only the European Union, but hopefully other developed countries as well. So I think it augurs very well, and I think the chances of success of this agreement, given our old ties, cultural, linguistic, and educational, and so on, as well as business ties. The Tatas are some of the biggest investors in the United Kingdom already. So given these existing ties, I think the scope for expansion is certainly very, very positive.
Adit, on China, UK and India signing this deal, what message is this going out to China's growing dominance? West trying desperately to undermine China, basically to ensure it doesn't race past them. You have countries like UK, US shifting towards India. Also, we have the youngest population, skilled, and English is certainly a big factor that gives India an edge. But what's the perception here, and what message does it signal to China?
I think from a China perspective, it's quite clear that the world is trying to diversify its supply chain. Whether that be United States, whether that be Australia, whether that be United Kingdom, they're all trying to desperately ensure that China is not a one-stop shop when it comes to their supply chain. As a consequence, India, Vietnam, all of these countries open up doors from that perspective. Some provide core competencies in manufacturing. Some provide competencies. Countries like India provide competencies in services and other goods and other commodities. But from a UK perspective, we've got to put some things in perspective, Nabila. So as a consequence of leaving the single market, the EU, the UK loses out by estimates about 8% of the GDP. The UK-India FTA only compensates for roughly about 0.20 of that. So it's a long way that the UK will need to go to ensure that that deficit that has been created as a consequence of leaving the single market, they are able to fulfill it. And so they will need to broaden their horizon. They will need more partners, and India is just the start of things from a UK perspective. Hopefully, they can stitch up more ties. United States is next. Hopefully, they can get some deals in place. Yeah. But with a mercurial Trump in place,
just the 5 most top industries. If people want to now need to switch from US to UK, what would be your suggestion or advice? The 5 top areas of business that they can etch with UK.
So I think EV vehicles are going to be one of those big ones where India, companies like Mahindra are going to be pushing for it. Pharmaceuticals are going to be quite big. The only downside with the pharmaceuticals is that United Kingdom may push for more patents and more sort of IP, stringent procedures. So that may, increase prices of, bare pharmaceutical products in India. IT, of course, India is already one of those largest providers of IT services to the West. So, we are going to be exploiting that particular aspect. Other than that, I think, generic goods like jute is going to be massive. So jute currently is a very small domain within UK imports from India. With this FTA, a lot of companies sitting in Bengal will be clapping their hands because they will be taking benefits of this.
Right. Just a quick one, finally, Ambassador, is this, now of course, Keir Starmer has pushed for this through his delegation. It seems quite clear that the Labour Party is all for this free trade agreement. What if tomorrow, and looking the stability of the Labour Party or Keir Starmer, there are a lot of questions may be asked. What if another government comes in? Do you believe that this is going to shake the foundation of the free trade agreement between India and UK?
Well, I think Adit will be more competent to answer that question. But the way I look at it, relations with India are a bipartisan issue, and both sides of the aisle support stronger relations with India. I don't see any storm clouds there. And I think Adit was right in saying that the Indian FTA will make only a smaller contribution to the gap left in the GDP growth by their exit from EU. And they have, for instance, the UK has already joined the CPTPP, which is a major FTA. And I think many of us would urge India to look at that option also. But there are some roadblocks ahead. For instance, in line with what the European Union is proposing, the UK is also proposing to impose carbon border tariffs based on emissions. And this is an issue which remains to be negotiated between India and UK. Similarly, the bilateral investment treaty is yet to be negotiated. And I hope that they will gather momentum on these issues also.
All right, Adit, you disagree that this is not going to really, even if there is a change in political party or a prime minister, this trade agreement will still be solid?
Yeah, I mean, for 3.5 years, we're stuck with the Labour Party, so there's nothing, nothing changing that. Relationships with India is a bipartisan issue. I quite concur with Ambassador Bhatia on that particular aspect. We've seen how the Conservatives have built relations with India, and Labour relations with India have historically been fairly strong. Where I think issues might come up with regards to India-UK issues, something which both governments have overlooked at this point of time, because they've laid out a minimum common program with regards to only economics at this point, which is the geopolitical issues. With people like Vijay Mallya, the economic offenders who are currently being patronized.
Speaking of visas, UK has been clear that visa mandates will not change for Indians.
That's correct. The mandates for UK visas are not.
And they've tightened visa norms for Indians, or just everyone. Indians, of course, the beneficiaries, the largest beneficiaries, are the most affected. So UK says that will not change.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at the visa rejections for India, it's typically between 8 to 10%, which is far below some of the other nations, our own neighboring nations. So from that perspective, I think India is fairly insulated. Student visas are still welcomed. Students are still welcome to come and study in the UK. They get their 1 year postgraduate visa as a consequence of studying in any UK university. So they get that UK experience as well. So before they go back to India, or as a consequence, if they're really good in terms of their job performance, then they get grabbed up by those companies by sponsoring them. So I think visa issues still lingers on. Potentially that may become an issue going forward into 2026. But for now, it's just a red herring. I think it's more the geopolitical issues, with the sort of the Khalistanis, which are being patronized disproportionately by the British government. I think those kind of issues are something which will come into play at a later stage.
Thanks very much, Ambassador and Adit, both of you, for joining us on this much needed conversation. UK-India building ties, a strong one, with the free trade agreement on its path. Thank you. All right, a quick break. We'll be right back with all the trolling on Deepika Padukone because she wore an abaya. Stay with us.
ये बेस्ट है मैम
पर पहले वाला क्यों नहीं
अजय भाई This one's for you. बिरला ओपस एश्योरेंस देने के लिए
ऐसा क्या है इसमें
एडवांस क्वालिटी 1 साल में पेंट को कुछ भी हुआ तो पेंटिंग वापस करके देंगे वो भी फ्री
पटेल भाई you're a rock star
क्वालिटी पे इतना कॉन्फिडेंस इसलिए बिरला ओपस एश्योरेंस रजिस्टर करो birlaopus.com पर
This is my temple, this is my mental peace sanctuary. The one thing I can't do without, you better hear me. Can't do without.
The ultimate biking experience is incomplete without Servo 40 Extra from Indian Oil. Servo 40 Extra from Indian Oil. Can't do without it.
Look, this investment guru tips will double your money. Just claim the offer.
Double your money from any random group. Pay attention. Promising double returns, they'll lure you in tight. Unverified groups will send fake tips overnight, emptying your pockets before you can fight.
Well said! Well said! Well said!
SEBI and NSE advise consult only SEBI registered advisors and make payments only to verified accounts or UPI IDs. An investor awareness initiative by SEBI and NSE.
Welcome back. Let's begin with Deepika Padukone, who's seen wearing an abaya. Now, Deepika Padukone has been roped in as a tourism ambassador to Abu Dhabi. She's seen wearing an abaya, looking elegant in her latest photo shoot for the Experience Abu Dhabi campaign, a look that many praised for its simplicity and grace. But who would have imagined that she'd be trolled equally or maybe more for wearing that abaya? What began as a tourism advertisement has now turned into a full-blown controversy online. Deepika is roped in as Abu Dhabi's brand ambassador alongside Ranveer Singh. They're basically carrying out this photo shoot. She's shown walking through the Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque, dressed modestly, her head covered as required by the mosque's dress code. The gesture meant as cultural respect has now sparked heated debate online as to Deepika Padukone wearing something that is viewed as a sign of oppression on many levels. That's what people online claim. Critics say it's hypocrisy. Sanjay Yadav, one of the social media posts there online, said the Bollywood feminist who lectures India on women's freedom now wrapped in a burqa for a few shiny dirhams. Another one said, all for the money. While another one said, they should remember that they make films in India. Well, adding fuel was old clips of Deepika Padukone's 2015 that came out. It popped up on social media where she talks about my choice, where she says, my choice to wear a bindi if I want to or not. It's my choice of the clothes I want to wear or not. Now, that very video is being shared extensively online, both by her critics and her supporters, as arguments over her choice. While some say, if this is her choice, why did she have to bend or buckle to wearing a burqa in another country? Well, her fans, though, have come out strongly in her defense. One writes, and I quote, Deepika is the only actress who looks so graceful in both Hindu and Muslim attire. Another one says, she's following a mosque's dress code. Stop the hate here. Another says, it's in some people's nature to find fault in just about everything. While the advertisement itself was meant to showcase Abu Dhabi's fusion of tradition and modernity, but that single frame of Deepika in an abaya, that single frame there showing Deepika wearing an abaya has now become a lightning rod for online outrage. At the heart of this debate lies a larger question, of course. Does women's empowerment mean rejecting traditional dress? Or does it mean having the freedom to wear what one chooses anywhere, anytime? In this case, Deepika Padukone didn't surrender her voice. She's exercised her choice, but some view it differently. Respect for culture or selective outrage? That's for the audience finally to decide. Well, let me bring in Harish Bijur, who's a brand guru and founder, Harish Bijur Consultancy. Thanks very much, Mr. Bijur, for joining us on this. As a brand expert, what's your take on this? We see Deepika Padukone in a abaya. Just the fact, does Deepika's Abu Dhabi campaign here risk diluting her brand of global feminism, or does it expand it, in your view?
Well, firstly, I'd say much ado about nothing. Sometimes I wonder whether people who hang on social media have anything to do at all, because, this is a needless controversy. Now, Deepika actually wearing or being seen in an abaya is a non-issue. When in Rome, do what the Romans do. When in Abu Dhabi, and when required, do what is meant to be done. In the sense that, I think what Deepika has portrayed is that she's in a holy place. And I think in a holy place, you're meant to respect whichever religion or is represented by that holy place. We have it in India. We have it across the world. We have it in a gurudwara. We have it in a mosque. We have it in a temple. So I think this is too much of noise. We need to step back a bit, look at the more macro view, and not get to be as micro nitty-gritty oriented, washing old dirty linen in digital media.
Since it's viewed, the abaya is viewed differently in different places, in different markets. Some would say it's a symbol of oppression. How can celebrities really carry out their ad campaigns with much sensitivity without being looked at as someone who's endorsing it?
Do celebrities actually endorse, clothes? I don't think so. I think the kind of clothes that get endorsed are endorsed by people who actually wear them. It is about what you like to wear. And I think it's about my right, my view, and I do what I do. And just as long as I'm not hurting anybody out there, which Deepika is not, for sure, what are we talking about here? This controversy is so unnecessary. Yeah.
Some of them claim all for the shiny dollar you'd compromise your actual ethics. Remember that you're an Indian actor. You should stand your ground. Just an example, when Smriti Irani went to Saudi, they did not mandate her to wear or cover her head, and this was possibly for the first time. I think she stood her ground. Do you think Deepika should have stood her ground, saying that I don't wear the abaya, so therefore I don't want to wear it even for my photo shoot, or do you think that would have cost her the contract?
Yeah, it sure would have cost her the contract, because you're in a holy place, and that too a holy place which is being depicted to the entire world as that. And you can't have exceptions in a piece of advertising. And therefore, I think, and both of them look so good. Ranveer looks so good and so dignified for a change. Yeah. And I'm pulling your leg, Ranveer.
No colors.
And Deepika looks so dignified. And I think, she's dressed for the occasion. She's dressed for the place. And I don't think she's making a point. She's not making a statement. She's not fighting the costume or the dress, and neither is she being oppressed. And I think oppression is in the eye of the beholder. And I think we need to take care of that.
If Abu Dhabi really wanted, they could have also roped in an actress of a Muslim faith, but they chose Deepika Padukone. Does that say something to you?
Well, let me put it this way. India is a happening place, folks, and I think we have arrived. We are doing exceedingly well. We are on the top of the pyramid in terms of, even though some nations have called us a dead economy, we aren't. We are a very alive and kicking economy. And the biggest dividend that we have is our population dividend. We are the largest country in the world. We've beaten China as well. And if our young people work hard, we are going to continue to beat China continuously. We are going to be 1.44 billion population, largest in the world, which means the largest number of consumers, possibly the largest number of people who would want to go to Abu Dhabi, visit Abu Dhabi. And Abu Dhabi is a friendly nation, as you and I are concerned.
Surely, yeah.
And, it's not that this is being done in an enemy nation. So I think, much ado about nothing.
Thank you very much, Mr. Harish Bijou, for joining us and setting perspective on that. But nonetheless, we still have a lot more to converse with Brinda Adige, women's rights activist, Sanjay Rana. He's an activist and analyst himself. Brinda, to begin with you, do you think Deepika is normalizing the abaya, which is seen and viewed in some places, I'm not saying all, in some places as a sign of oppression?
Well, I think we go back to what Deepika has been saying. My choice. Please let her have her choice. Whether she did it for shining dinars, for the scarlet red, I don't care. It's her choice. Did she force you to wear or me to wear? No. Are these also the same people who are very upset with Deepika wearing a saffron-colored bikini in something? I don't watch movies, but I'm just asking. So you decide, you will dictate what colors the woman should wear, what clothes she should wear, and that she has no choice. I mean, she's coming from the largest democracy in the world. So that means
she could have exercised her choice rightly there. She wouldn't have been able to win the contract if she didn't wear the abaya. That's what even Harish Bijur acknowledged. So maybe it was a compulsion that she had to wear an abaya to shoot in front of the Grand Mosque. Though I would say it's a holy site, so maybe that's the requirement.
Nabila, it's a holy site, that's a requirement, all that is yes. But it is her choice. She decided she wants to take that shoot. She wants to take that assignment for whatever may be the reasons. Who are these holier than thou claiming all of this, saying, oh, for a few dinars? Don't we know what all the others do for a few rupees? So why is it that somebody, the kettle is calling somebody black? It is not fair that you choose or somebody else chooses what Deepika should wear and stood her ground, or that Smriti Irani stood her ground at some point. Well, we all know, will we make so much noise if Deepika went and covered her head in Amritsar Golden Temple and did a shoot? Will we make this kind of noise? So, we do not want to give space and allow bigoted people to take advantage and say, oh, but she should have stood her ground. Oh, she did this for a few dinars. Whatever she did it for, it is her choice. Simple. I think it is time for all these people to understand that there is this woman who chooses whether she wants to wear the abaya, or she wants to wear a bikini, or she wants to wear whatever. As long as she has not forced you or me to do it, or like Bijur said, harming any of us. Why is it that we are going on this whole trip?
Let's bring in Sanjay Rana.
To another man?
If Sanjay Rana has a different perspective on that, Mr. Rana, your take on this? Is true women's freedom about rejecting symbols like the hijab?
First of all, everyone has a choice to wear whatever they want. I'm not questioning on that, but there should not be any hypocrisy. I was hearing very carefully, and somebody was saying the holy place. If it is a holy place, there should be no shooting at all, number one. Number two, when you are talking about the holy place, the woman is covering her face and head, whatever is fine. But what about the holy place for the Randeep Singh, her husband? He was not following the rules and regulations of the Islam. He's supposed to wear a jalidar topi, and obviously the mustaches should be trimmed properly. It's as per the Islam.
No, mustache can be, however. But what I do notice is that he's not wearing a 3/4 pant.
Yes,
that's the real catch here. Is Ranveer is not wearing the 3/4 pant.
I'm just talking about Islam as per
precisely what I'm saying, that it's not about the beard or the hat, it's about the pant. The pant is missing.
No. Yes, when you're talking about the holy place, then you have to cover his head. And he was not wearing a cap. Why he was not wearing a jalidar topi? I fail to understand, number one. When people were saying, no, it's not for the dinar. Absolutely, it's for the dinar. If she would have been rejected not to wear abaya, then obviously the PR company would say, thank you very much, and we are not interested. Because they are promoting Abu Dhabi tourism, they are promoting their culture, and everything is fine. Number three, one side they are shooting Abu Dhabi Masjid, is good. Another side they are shooting a statue which is against the Islam. So contradictory is coming in one ad altogether, and fail to understand one side. If you are doing, you have all the right to choose whatever you want to do it. Number one. Number two, when you are highlighting, so no, it's my choice. I will not use bindi. I will not use ring. I will not use Mangal Sutra. And you are just criticizing other religion. Is not true. Why you are asking question or raising question?
She never said I will not. She said if I will wear it if I want to. I will not. If I don't want to, it's my choice. There was not criticism. She spoke about her choice extensively.
Allow me to point. If the people are asking to wear a proper dress, I'm not saying which dress, proper dress which is allowed in the mandir, people are raising a question mark. Why people are not raising a question mark on Ranveer Singh? This is a hypocrisy, absolutely hypocrisy. And it was just for the dollars. It was just for the dinars. It's just for the money, because she has been struggling. She's out from the film industry. She's not having any work. So she has to do it. And because of that, under pressure, she's wearing abaya. She will wear hijab. She will wear burka. She will do all the promotion. First, please understand. If you're doing a marketing, if you are actors, then behave like actor. Don't become a social activist. If you are a social activist, don't behave like an actor. So she is an actor, then she has to behave like an actor only, and she can do whatever acting is required, whatever the producer is saying.
But then that's you enforcing your opinion on her, no? And also, I mean, whatever said, Deepika being out of work, she's just given birth to a child, and she's been roped in as a brand ambassador of Abu Dhabi. Is not a small feat. If you're a nobody, you can't be a brand ambassador to a country.
She has been kicked out from the movie recently, 2 months back.
Because of a schedule. Because of a schedule.
No, it's not busy schedule. She is not having a single movie in her hand. What about the busy schedule? What do you mean by busy schedule? There's
not busy schedule. I said because of a schedule, she refused to work beyond 12 hours or 8 hours.
If you're getting assignment, that means busy schedule. If you have so much busy schedule, then why you're going to doing a shooting there? If you're doing a shooting there, you
Mr. Rana, I think you misunderstood what I said. You misunderstood what I said. It was not busy.
As per the convenience, people are trying to play it, and everything is the money behind it. If everything is check, which is coming behind it, if the check is not there, dinar is not there, dollars is not there, no one is going to work it out. And please stop saying holy place. It's not a holy place. If you're saying it's holy place, then why Ranveer Singh is not following the rules and regulations of Islam? He has to wear the cap, which is not.
Okay.
So understand what is holy place, what is not. Please do not hide your hypocrisy behind something.
Okay, all right. We heard you. We heard you. A final word from Brinda, as I also am short on time. Brinda, you've heard what he had to say, and a valid point. If the woman is following all the rules of the under the Islamic law to shoot, why isn't Ranveer following it? I agree with him. Ranveer should have been wearing a cap. Ranveer should have worn a 3/4 pant. But he's not being trolled, huh? Deepika is being trolled.
Yes, exactly. So one part of it, what he is saying is, Ranveer is not wearing that jelly cap, and he's not wearing that 3/4 pant. No, you must question whoever is
holy place.
Their costume designers. But
if it is a holy place, there should be no
Deepika Padukone, who's made her
choice. If it is a holy place, then everyone has to follow the rules and regulations.
So leave it at that.
If
whether
you are following the holy place,
gold coins, again, that is her choice. She's out of job, and so she's
doing this
advertisement. Again, her choice. Why are they so self-righteous?
Because of dinar.
She has no choice.
And the money, she's running short of assignment.
It's her choice. Please respect it.
Yes, no choice.
Respect it
In her hand.
How then look at the holy place? I'm not bothered.
No, what do you mean a holy place? One side you're saying the holy place,
about that. I am saying.
First of all, you decide whether it's a holy place or not. Holy place, you cannot do the shooting in a holy place. Number one. And the statue is against the Islam. Number two. Number three, if it is a holy place, masjid is a holy place. What about the temples? Then why are you making a statement on the temple? Why are you telling my choice, my wish? I can wear anything. I can wear bikini and go to temple. Then it should not.
He never said that. I don't know why you want to make such a sexist remark.
Okay, we've got perspectives on both sides, and
woman's choice.
Okay. On that note, I would wrap this here. I really appreciate Brinda and Sanjay Rana joining us on this. Thank you very much. All right, a quick look at all the top stories in day tonight. Let me start with the Tata Empire. Is the Tata Empire showing cracks after Ratan Tata's demise? Well, not all is well within one of India's most respected corporate houses. What began as a routine board meeting has now spiraled into a full-blown power struggle inside Tata Trust, the controlling arm of the $180 billion Tata Group. So here's what's happening. Tata Trust, which owns 66% of Tata Sons, is now split into two camps, one led by Noel Tata, Ratan Tata's half-brother, and the other by Mehli Mistry, the cousin of late Cyrus Mistry. The clash erupted over whether to reappoint 77-year-old Vijay Singh to the board. After Ratan Tata's passing, a new rule required yearly reappointment for anyone above the age of 75. Noel Tata and Venu Srinivasan supported it, but 4 other trustees opposed it. What followed was dramatic. The opposing camp tried to bring in Mehli Mistry instead. Noel Tata blocked that move. Those supporting Mistry argued that they are being sidelined, while others accused them of trying to wrest control from Noel. Now, the rift has only widened with the issue reaching Delhi. Union ministers Amit Shah and Nirmala Sitharaman have reportedly called Noel Tata and Tata Sons chairperson N. Chandrasekaran for talks and warning that instability in Tata Trust could really shake confidence in entire conglomerate. Now, this does matter because Tata Trust does not just influence, it fully controls most of the group's decisions that spans more than 400 companies under it across sectors from steel, cars, power, tech, accounting for nearly 4% of India's GDP. And there's another layer here. The feud comes amid RBI scrutiny over delays in Tata Sons' long-awaited public listing. Now, as the infighting only deepens, Vijay Singh has resigned and the trustees are set to meet yet again under government guidance. No one has gone on record yet, but that's clear now that Tata boardroom is once again in the eye of the storm. Now, in Tamil Nadu, Tamil superstar and politician now Vijay, his party TVK has taken the battle for justice all the way to the Supreme Court after the Karur stampede. The party has challenged the Madras High Court's recent order forming a special investigative team, SIT, led by Inspector General to probe Karur stampede tragedy. TVK says that's not enough, calling the setup as compromised and influenced possibly by the DMK government and lacking independence. TVK has filed a petition now at the Supreme Court asking for an independent Supreme Court monitored investigation here to ensure transparency and accountability. The party, meanwhile, we understand Vijay himself has video called and personally spoken to all the families of the victims who died in the Karur stampede. And he also plans to go visit them. He's got to take permission. He's seeking permission from the DGP to visit the Karur victims soon. He's not yet gone and visited them because of all the investigation that was underway. He received a lot of backlash as well for it, for not staying back when the stampede happened and instead leaving quickly to Chennai. Nonetheless, there's a lot of damage control that TVK is currently trying to do, along with reaching out to the Supreme Court. On one level, they also accuse the DMK of conspiracy, saying that now they want the investigation at least to be transparent and fair. 12 days after the horrific stampede, sources confirm no official request has been submitted yet for Vijay to meet with the family. So that is yet to happen, but we're hoping that the Supreme Court listens to his matter and an order comes out on that soon. Enforcement Directorate has intensified its crackdown on high-profile Bhutan vehicle smuggling racket, raiding 17 locations, including the residences of actors Dulquer Salmaan and Mammootty, along with Prithvi Raj. The preliminary probe reveals a sophisticated network that illegally imported luxury vehicles like Land Cruiser, Defender, Maserati from Bhutan and Nepal, using forged documents and fraudulent RTO registrations across Arunachal and Himachal Pradesh, as well as other states. Now, those investigating this case believe that some actors like Dulquer Salmaan, Prithvi Raj, etc. bought their luxury vehicles through this network, though the actors vehemently refuse it. In fact, Dulquer Salmaan's Land Cruiser was also seized, and he reached out to the Kerala High Court saying that this seizure itself is illegal, and the Kerala High Court has also wrapped the agency, saying that they've got to release his vehicle at the earliest because on the grounds with which or the suspicion under which they've seized the vehicle does not hold good. But while that happened, you had the ED today swooping in and raiding Dulquer Salmaan and Mammootty's residence and offices linked to their companies. Officials say that these cars were sold at undervalued price to the high net worth individuals, including these film personalities, and not just them. You have many more people in the list. Of course, the most prominent here are Dulquer Salmaan, Mammootty, Prithvi Raj, and many businessmen in Kerala as well, we hear. ED suspects here prima facie violations of Section 3, 4 and 8 of FEMA, pointing to unauthorized foreign exchange transactions and hawala payments. Well, Customs Department raided 30 locations just a few weeks ago on September 23rd, and now ED swooping in. It clearly looks like a serious follow-up on the luxury car smuggling case by the agencies. Shocking and a sad story coming in from Uttar Pradesh. Panic gripped at the Maharishi Divarha Baba Medical College in Uttar Pradesh. A dead body was found inside the 5th floor water tank in that college, sending the campus into chaos because the students have been drinking water coming from that water tank for a good week, a whole week. And there was a dead body in that water tank for 10 whole days. Kotwali police removed the body in the presence of doctors and senior officials. Identity of the person is still unknown. Foul play, of course, is suspected. Investigators believe that the person may have been killed and dumped in that water tank, and you had canteen supply of that water coming in for 10 whole days with people drinking and using that for cooking without knowing that there was a body there. Water was supplied to the college canteen, and that now raises serious concerns about hygiene. The food department and of officers there have inspected the area now, flagging off poor sanitation standards. So the college has also been pulled up for not checking and diligently sanitizing their environment. And of course, the murder case is currently being investigated closely. Authorities now focusing on identifying the victim. Who is that person who's been killed and put in that tank for 10 whole days? Now, in a major setback, actor Shilpa Shetty and her husband Raj Kundra, in a major setback for them, the Bombay High Court has refused to grant them immediate relief in 60 crore financial fraud case. The court has made it quite clear if the couple wants to travel abroad, they must first deposit 60 crores in connection with an alleged scam under investigation currently by the Mumbai Police's Economic Offences Wing. Earlier, the couple's plea to travel to Phuket was also rejected. Their lawyer later told the court that Shilpa Shetty needs to visit Los Angeles for a YouTube event, but the bench led by Chief Justice Chandrasekhar and Justice Gautam Akhand demanded written proof. The court said, deposit the entire 60 crores, only then we can consider your request to leave the country. The matter is now adjourned till October 14th with a lookout circular that's being currently a lookout circular that's in force against both Shilpa Shetty and Raj Kundra. So this case, the EOW's investigation, stems from a complaint filed by Mumbai businessman Deepak Kothari, director of Lotus Capital Financial Services. Kothari alleges that between 2015 and 2023, Shilpa Shetty and Raj Kundra diverted nearly 60 crores meant for their business, Best Deal TV Private Limited, and used that money for personal expenses instead. Shilpa Shetty resigned as a director in 2016. The EOW agencies continue to probe this allegation, 60 crore fraud. Shilpa Shetty and Raj Kundra, of course, have denied it completely. Next court hearing, though, on October 14th. Historic milestone for India's aviation sector. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has inaugurated Phase 1 of the Navi Mumbai International Airport, a world-class greenfield project built at a cost of 19,650 crores. Once fully operational, the NMIA will handle 155 million passengers a year, making Mumbai one of the few cities worldwide with multiple international airports. It's spread over 1,160 hectares. The airport is designed to ease Mumbai's air traffic, congestion and transform the region into a major global aviation hub. Domestic operations are set to begin soon, while international flights are expected by December. It's designed by Zaha Hadid Architects. Key features include 4 terminals, 2 runways, a VVIP terminal by 2030, an automated people mover, SAF storage, 47 MW solar power electric buses, India's first airport water taxi link. Well, it's also will be India's first fully digital airport, offering paperless boarding passes, e-gates, all online baggage drop, AI-enabled terminal management. Passengers will even be able to pre-book parking slots and access real-time updates through a mobile app. Airlines like Indigo, Air India, Akasa Air are all among first to begin operations from that new airport. Maharashtra Chief Minister Fadnavis has hailed this as a grand moment for the state, announcing the airport to be named after Dinakar Balu Patil, who fought for fair compensation to locals. Thanks very much for tuning in. You do have a great weekend.
Alakazam fish disappear. Moonlight.
Smooth, silent, seamless. Sliding systems from headache.
हम यहाँ जान पे खेल रहे, तू फोन पे खेल रहा है।
अरे पापा की गाड़ी का इंश्योरेंस रिन्यू कर रहा हूँ, टाइम पे नहीं करा तो वो जान ले लेंगे मेरी।
बड़े शौकीन पापा है, इतनी बड़ी गाड़ी।
तो एको से कराना।
क्यों?
क्योंकि जितनी बड़ी गाड़ी
एको पर उतना ज्यादा फायदा।
नहीं फटा।
अब